Hey ladies, welcome to this week's Hey Liz video. I've got a really great question from somebody in the group, and I think it's something that a lot of us can relate to. So she said, I am convicted against the love of sleep. I also struggle with not moving because of fear, especially fear of love and intimacy. I desperately want to surrender and be obedient, but I find intense internal resistance to the leading of the Spirit. How does one overcome this? This is the real battle that so many Christian women face, and it's really hard to put into words. And this lady put it into words pretty good, I think. You want to obey, you feel the nudge of the Spirit, but then something inside you causes you to just freeze up. I'm praying that this video will help you uncover what God might be putting on your heart so that together we can identify that resistance and walk in confidence of God's promises. So let's start here. What do you believe would happen if you fully surrendered? Would you be abandoned, embarrassed, let down again? Because it's easy to say, I want to obey God, but what does obedience cost in your mind? So really think about that. Is something making you believe that getting close equals getting hurt? So now obedience feels dangerous and risky instead of the gift that it's really meant to be. So let me ask a question that will hopefully get you to look a little deeper into this. Is it possible that your resistance to the Spirit is actually you trying to protect yourself, not rebel against God? You're not resisting God because you don't love Him. You're resisting because deep down you still believe that surrender means losing your control, and losing control means getting hurt, or fill in the blank. That fear of intimacy, that love of sleep, that's not laziness. They're you just trying to protect yourself. But God never asked you to protect yourself. He doesn't want you to have to carry that burden by yourself. Okay, so I want you to remember two verses. Psalm 18:30, which says, As for God, His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who trust in Him. God never asked you to make your own shield because He is the shield. And Isaiah 41 verse 10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. These verses don't just comfort, they contradict the lies that you need to protect yourself. God doesn't tell you to build walls. He tells you that He will hold you up. So what would change if you really started to believe that every time you obey, you're not exposed, you're actually protected? Not at risk, but right in the center of His care. Because obedience isn't God asking you to take a hit. It's Him asking you to let go of your armor so He can cover you with His, which is far better than anything that we could provide for ourselves. So let me ask you, what would change if you truly believed obedience to God was the safest place and not the scariest? So let's start looking at how these ideas work in our lives. You mentioned a love for sleep. So let's go a little bit deeper into that. When you reach for sleep or find a need to do that over something else, what are you avoiding? Is it following through with what you know He called you to do, where you're scared of being hurt again? Is it stillness, where you might feel an emptiness? Is it intimacy with God, where He might ask you to let go of something painful? Maybe sleep has become a sort of escape for you because taking the action that God is calling you to requires your vulnerability, and that is sometimes the most terrifying thing. So here's the moment of shift. When you feel that fear or that resistance rise again, or the urge to crawl under the covers this week, I want you to name it and just simply call it out. Put off the idea of what if it hurts, and put on, if I obey and it hurts, I'll be held by the God who heals. The goal isn't to force yourself out of bed with shame. It's to interrupt the deceitful pattern with truth. So the next time you start feeling yourself freeze up with fear, whisper this prayer out loud. Lord, I'm scared to move, but I know you're with me. Give the strength to take one step. That's it. One small act of obedience, not because you're strong, but because He is. This is not about working harder. It's about surrendering deeper. You're not lazy, and you're certainly not beyond reach. You're a woman who knows that the Spirit is leading. You just need to remind your heart. Obedience doesn't mean pain. It means peace. The exact opposite. You are safe to surrender. You're deeply loved and you're fully seen. And you are absolutely not alone in this fight. So let's move forward together, one step at a time.